Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Deanna Christine here. So it's been about a week or so since I last checked in with you, and I just wanted to give you guys a little update on how things are going. So I'm still very much obviously in braces. I've only had them about 2.5 weeks now, and there's just been a little bit of an update. So essentially, it's not as painful as it was. A lot of the soreness has gone down, but there is still some discomfort and some pain in regards to the braces. So I've got on the inside of this side of my mouth, I do have a sore where the wire keeps poking into my inside of my cheek, so that definitely is very uncomfortable, and it's something that like essentially no matter how I hold my mouth, it causes some discomfort there. So that's something I've definitely had to get used to and attempt to use wax a lot to really combat that feeling. I've also still, I'm rocking the power chains on each side of my mouth, top and bottom, to close up the holes, as I've said in my last video. If you didn't see some of my last videos, go ahead and check them out. They should be up here in a card coming up so that you can click on that and go back and watch those videos if you're interested to kind of see me talk about getting the braces and my first week update. But if you just don't want to watch, continue to watch here for my what would be 2-week update. So the power chains, I can feel them working essentially. It's a very strange feeling, I want to say. I've had a lot of people ask me what it's like having braces and how it feels, and it's very hard to put into words the feeling of my teeth. It still is very sore to do this, like just putting my teeth together. It's like a feeling of almost like, oh, rubbing two things together that shouldn't be, like almost like nails down chalkboard. It very much is a not very good feeling. And hi baby, what you doing? My son just popped in to say hi, see what I was doing, and he ran off. But it's very much right here and here are like the most painful parts. It is very sore. Chewing is still pretty hard. I'm still very much on soft foods because it's really hard to chew more harder foods, and even things like I tried eating a salad the other day on lunch and it was just too crunchy and the salad would essentially get everywhere. So it was really hard to eat a salad because it just would constantly get stuck in the power chains. I mean, there's holes on each side where my teeth are missing, so it constantly feels like it's gonna pop the wire out or pop the power chains out. So it's not a very comfortable feeling, and then it also, there's soreness still because they're still so tender and they're still so achy that to constantly chew like a salad would require, it just wasn't as easy. I very much am still on a lot of soft foods and foods that are easy to eat and don't require a whole lot of chewing. Like a steak right now would be completely out of the question for me. Like that would just be too much chewing unless it like melted in my mouth. That's kind of what I'm looking for, is I'm very much eating more soft foods. So let me get into some of the foods that I can eat and some that I can't. So definitely some of the do not eat foods, avoid foods completely, would be nuts. I ate something, I want to say it was a brownie. Yes, it was a brownie that was made at my work for someone was leaving, and the individual who made the brownie, she made 2 kinds, which was really sweet of her. She made one that was gluten-free and low carb and things like that. but I think she didn't realize I have braces and she put nuts in them. And while I really appreciate that she made that, I could not. As soon as I could eat around the brownies, but they were baked right in, so I had to be very careful. And it's a lot of ripping and pulling when I eat. I cannot grab like a sandwich and pull it and chew like that. It's just too tender here still. There's too much of a risk of popping off like one of these brackets too. It's on the back of my mind. And even just doing this motion, not only does it feel weird, but there is some soreness still to it. So I've been avoiding anything that requires that bite and pull kind of method. So no burgers, no sandwiches, no kind of like apples or anything like that requires the crunch off. If I was to eat items like that, like I still have been eating some of those softer foods like sandwiches because they are softer to chew once I actually get the initial tear off. So what I've been doing is either ripping them apart or cutting them with a fork and knife. So that's definitely been my go-to on how to eat. So I can't do any ripping and like bite down and pull. I can't do nuts. I tried doing granola the other day. I had some yogurt with some granola on top and I sprinkled just a little bit in, and no, it was too crunchy. I mean, even with it kind of softening up in the yogurt a bit, it was just too much to chew. And frankly, right now, I'm at a point where I find it tiring to eat. It takes a long time for me to eat now. I mean, prior to having braces, I was already a pretty slow eater. I mean, I was the one that was the last one at the table. Oh my God, Deanna, hurry up, finish your food, especially with like ice cream and things like that. Like I took my time eating. I've always been a slow eater. So having these braces on has just essentially added to that time to get it to actually be something that I can eat, chew, and essentially enjoy some food. So it's not as enjoyable as it used to be, and it really, it's got to be worth it to me for me to actually try eating now. So it's kind of like a little hidden kind of bonus in having braces. Is like, I know I have been on this weight loss journey again. Like, go ahead and check out this video where I talked about my weight loss journey. So I have been, watching what I eat, eating smaller portions, being more conscious of the carbs and the calories. And I've also been working out and just kind of doing that in regards to weight loss. But this is definitely something that my husband and I joke about is like the perfect thing for like my weight loss journey, is because it's just, I give up sometimes eating. I'll eat like half of what I've served myself because it's just so much work into the chewing and so much pain, discomfort, and everything. So it's kind of like, hey, free bonus for like weight loss. Just get braces. So that has definitely been interesting. So some other foods that I definitely avoid, anything really chewy. Again, you want to get away from hard foods and chewy foods. I mean chewy in the way that like it's very much like caramel, however you say it. I usually say caramel. Things like taffy or Starburst, like that really, really like sticky type of chewy, because really anything sticky, it's just going to be, not only is it going to be hard to kind of chew and the motions, but it's going to get all stuck in your braces. So it's just not as fun to eat anything like that. You want to avoid popcorn is something you got to be very careful when eating. You got to be careful with, stay away from nuts, stay away from the hard foods, your steaks and things like that. You got to be very careful on how you're eating it, because you don't want to be popping off too many brackets all over the place, and you get food all stuck in your teeth, and it's just really extra effort to eat those types of foods. So foods that I have been gravitating more towards are the softer foods. And that would be the things that are like your yogurts, especially yogurts that are like just plain vanilla yogurts. I've really been enjoying those. I ate cream of wheat was something I really relied on for the first few days of getting these on, because I just could not eat anything barely at all. So cream of wheat was really nice because there like was really no effort in chewing or anything like that. Other foods that I've been eating have been things like, I have been kind of going more towards my breads and my pastas, even though they're high carbs and I should be staying away from them in regards to the weight loss. I mean, I've got to make sure I'm still getting calories and I'm taking care of myself. I don't want to be starving myself. So I'm at least eating smaller portions of it, being more conscious on what types I'm eating. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy and just eat just like, 5 Big Mac burgers all day. If anything, a Big Mac would probably be really hard to eat. I haven't had one in months. But you got to be careful and mindful of what you're eating and make sure it's worth the intake of what you're having and the effort that it's going to take to eat it. And some other foods is definitely ice cream. I mean, I have been taking advantage of the ice cream because my mouth is sore, it's cut up, there's, different things going on. It's sore in the regards to, not only is there like actual sores in my mouth, but my teeth are like sore to chew. So I've definitely been enjoying some ice cream here and there. Nothing crazy. I'm not like every single day eating ice cream, but I definitely will not stop myself from, just having some here and there. It's, again, as I said in a previous video, it was something that the orthodontist actually even encouraged, because you're eating so few calories, because it's so hard to eat. It's a way to kind of, make sure you're getting at least some calories into you. Though I wouldn't recommend it as something every day, again. And two, you have to really pay attention to your own self. You have to pay attention to what works for you, what's best for your body, what's giving you energy, what's making you, make sure that you're able to focus, because you don't want to be depleting your calories to the point that you can't think, but you also don't want to be overindulging either in these sugary types of treats just because, hey, my mouth's sore, so I'm going to go over and above and eat 5 bowls of ice cream today. Well, no, that's just too extreme. Like, you got to find the nice balance, because it's all about having a nice balance in life. So that is definitely some foods. Again, I've been having like soups, pastas. My husband makes this really nice chicken. It's chicken in it, and it's a fettuccine type of sauce. So it's a cream-based sauce and not like a tomato-based sauce. And it's got chicken, and then it's these little ravioli that are spinach stuffed, and he makes that all together, and it's just so amazing. And the pasta is really nice because it's soft. It's got spinach in it, so it's really good. And then it's got the chicken and the Alfredo type sauce. That's the word I was looking for. It's Alfredo type sauce. And he makes that all together, and that is something that I definitely really enjoy. So does the rest of the family. Like, we all really love when he makes that, and that's something that I've definitely been able to still enjoy, as long as I'm cutting it up nicely in order to, have bite-sized bites. So I've definitely pastas, spaghettis, those types of things, stuff where there's not a whole lot of chewing. It's funny how much you notice. Now that I have braces, how much I notice what needs to be chewed and what really kind of can be gummed down, like with the roof of my mouth and my tongue, essentially, to do most of the work, or just like very softly on the other sides of my mouth. So it's really funny kind of how you learn to eat to make sure that, you're still getting the nutrients that you need, but also being mindful of your mouth. So I've definitely been adjusting. My first adjustment isn't even going to be until about August. So right now we're still in June, and I don't go in for my first adjustment until August, because essentially we're still waiting for those teeth to move. So there hasn't been much of an update in here. Like I think it still looks very much the same. There might be some slight differences. Or maybe you guys even notice even more than I would, because I see them every single day, so I'm not noticing as much. Though I do notice sometimes when I talk or eat that these eye teeth, or whichever teeth they are here, are the canine type teeth, are kind of hitting together more than they used to. So I'm wondering if that's because they're shifting, or just because I'm super hyper aware of my teeth right now, because of how much they're just, they're not like completely painful, but again, like I am very mindful of my teeth and very aware of them. So that's kind of it for my update. I just kind of wanted to talk about some of the foods I've been eating, some I've had to avoid, and just kind of give you an update. Take care, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.